You were born with double pupils and achieved foundation establishment in 100 days. At only 18, your cultivation base has already reached the nascent soul stage, just one step away from the deity transformation stage. But just as you returned from descending the mountain, you discovered that your cave dwelling had been forcibly occupied by someone. Even the supreme treasure, rough stone, was claimed by the junior brother as his own. A foundation establishment trash dares to rob a nascent soul's cave dwelling. Just as you were about to slap him to death, your senior sisters all jumped out. At this moment, you are flying on your sword past dozens of spiritual peaks. Soon the news of your return to the sect spread throughout the heaven and earth Daoist sect. After all, within the sect, those qualified to fly on swords are all peak masters of various peaks, or nascent soul true monarchs. Holy maiden, good news. Dao Child Gu has returned to the sect. A voice full of joy echoed through the Holy Maiden peak. Hearing this, Nangong Qiu, who was resting with her eyes closed, suddenly opened her beautiful eyes. A touch of joy appeared on her stunningly beautiful face, instantly turned into a streak of purple flowing light, and disappeared from the soft jade bed. You stand before a towering, plain-colored great peak that reaches into the clouds. Spiritual energy so dense, it forms mist lingers around the spiritual peak. Countless spirit beasts and immortal birds, precious herbs and spiritual plants can be seen everywhere. You fly towards Qingshuan Peak, but suddenly you frown slightly. A faint trace of doubt flashes in your double pupils. In front of you, a layer of spatial barrier appeared at some unknown time, blocking you outside Qingshuan Peak. Logically speaking, even if Qingshuan Peak activated its mountain-protecting grand array, you wouldn't be kept out since you have a disciple token, unless someone deliberately modified Qingshuan Peak's mountain-protecting grand array, causing your disciple token to become invalid. Who is so bold, daring to target you? The lock on your home's door was changed by someone. You feel quite displeased. Your right pupil glows with a faint silver light. A surge of spatial power emerges, ready to directly break open the mountain-protecting grand array. Right at this moment, who dares to trespass on Qingshuan Peak? Suddenly, a scolding voice rings out. A handsome young man flies out from within Qingshuan Peak, looking to be in his 20s. But his cultivation base is terribly poor, having just reached foundation establishment not long ago. A disciple who only reached foundation establishment in his 20s doesn't even have the qualifications to enter the inner sect, and even less so should he appear on a great peak like Qingshuan Peak. But what is the situation in front of you? You frown and question coldly. Who are you? I am Yi Chen, a disciple of true monarch Qingshuan. And who are you? Yi Chen asked in return. Hearing this, you are even more confused. Although you don't know much about your master, who cultivates the Tao of ruthlessness. But given the general quality of disciples on Qingshuan Peak, how could she possibly fancy this Yi Chen? I am Gu Qingzhi, also a disciple of true monarch Qingshuan. Unexpectedly, just as you finished speaking, Yi Chen seemed to be triggered, roaring loudly at you. Impossible. Master clearly only has me as her male disciple. Seeing Yi Chen's huge reaction, your frown deepens. Is this guy really Master's disciple? You have an illustrious reputation in the Heaven and Earth Daoist sect, except for those new disciples who just joined the sect. Who doesn't know that you are a disciple of Qingshuan? Too lazy to talk nonsense with this Yi Chen. You directly tear open a spatial rift and enter Qingshuan Peak. Yi Chen looks at you in astonishment. Just then, two more spiritual lights fly over, landing beside Yi Chen. They are two women with pretty faces. They are impressively true monarch Qingshuan's second disciple, Su Yue, and third disciple, Lin Wan'er. One at the early Golden Core stage, the other at the late Foundation Establishment stage. Considered decent among inner sect disciples. Little Chen, what's wrong? Why did you suddenly crush the jade talisman I gave you? Did you encounter any danger? Su Yue asked Yi Chen with concern, not noticing you. Lin Wan'er also chimed in from the side. Junior brother Chen, don't worry. Tell your senior sister who bullied you. Watch your senior sister beat him until he's looking for his teeth all over the floor. Senior sisters, it's him. He suddenly barged into Qingshuan Peak, giving me a huge fright. And he said he's also Master's disciple. Master clearly only has me as her male disciple. Senior sisters, hurry up and drive him out. Yi Chen took the opportunity to hide behind Su Yue, pointing at you, complaining with a feigned, scared voice. Su Yue and Lin Wan'er turned their heads to look. Only then did they see you silently watching Yi Chen's performance. They were taken aback at first, followed by a sudden change in complexion. Panic flashed in their eyes, thinking oh no in their hearts. Junior brother Gu, you should call me true monarch Shen Xiao, or Dao Child. You coldly interrupted Su Yui's words, giving absolutely no face to this nominal senior sister. This made Su Yui lose face instantly, harboring secret resentment in her heart. So what if you are a nascent soul? Does becoming a Dao child mean you can turn your back on people you know? Lin Wana on the side couldn't stand it anymore, jumping out to reprimand you. Guqing, although you have now broken through to nascent soul, but don't forget, you are just like us. We are all disciples of true monarch Qingshuan. Your entry time into the sect was even later than ours. What's wrong with calling you junior brother? Hearing this, instead of getting angry, you sneered. Are you even worthy? Do you need me to help you recall those nasty things you did before? Thinking back, you suffered quite a lot of cold violence when you first joined the sect. All thanks to these few senior sisters. But the reason you took true monarch Qingshuan as your master was exactly because she cultivated the Tao of ruthlessness, indifferent to everything. So you didn't care about the cold violence from your senior sisters either. It's just that before you went to settle the score with them, they came knocking on your door eagerly. You are not going to spoil them. Su Yui and Lin Wana were momentarily speechless, looking embarrassed. Obviously, they both remembered how they used to target you. Your gaze falls on Ye Chen once again. You keep feeling a familiar aura within this guy's body, but just can't remember it for the moment. Immediately you coldly question, I just returned to Qingshuan Peak, and was unexpectedly blocked by the mountain-protecting Grand Array. Shouldn't you give me a reasonable explanation? Also, where did this guy come from? From the conversation between you and Su Yui, Ye Chen, guess that you are the one true monarch Qingshuan mentioned. The male disciple who went home 3 months ago, feeling immense resentment in his heart. Having him as the only male disciple on Qingshuan Peak is enough. What are you doing coming back? Forcibly suppressing his inner resentment. Ye Chen remains calm on the surface, showing a harmless smile, and introduces himself to you. Senior brother Gu, I am Master Qingshuan's newly accepted disciple. Just call me Little Chen. At the same time, a sound transmission was sent into the ears of Su Yui and Lin Wana. Woo woo woo. Senior brother Gu looks so scary. I didn't intentionally block him outside the peak. I just didn't want him to disturb Master's closed-door cultivation. The Heavenly Book said it was exactly because Senior Brother Gu suddenly came back, startling Master's closed-door cultivation. That caused Master's cultivation method to go awry, leading to chi deviation. In the minds of Su Yui and Lin Wana, Ye Chen's inner voice sounded simultaneously. They showed astonishment. Master would actually suffer chi deviation because of Guqing. Good thing Little Chen stopped him outside. Otherwise, Master would have been in danger. Consequently, Su Yui and the other glared at you angrily, shielding Ye Chen even more tightly. The ability to hear Ye Chen's inner voice, Su Yui and Lin Wana also discovered only after he became a disciple. From Ye Chen's inner voice, Su Yui and the others learned that he had once read a wordless Heavenly Book. The Heavenly Book recorded many things about them. At first, they didn't believe Ye Chen's inner voice either, but some things that happened later all matched up. They couldn't help but believe it. In less than 2 months, Su Yui and Lin Wana had completely trusted Ye Chen. Seeing Su Yui and Lin Wana suddenly shielding Ye Chen and revealing angry looks toward yourself, doubts arose in your heart. Could it be that these two guys think that I want to make a move on this Ye Chen? Although I don't like this Ye Chen, feeling this guy is very manipulative. It's still not to the point of killing him. At most crippling his cultivation, slicing him into a human swine, and throwing him out of the Heaven and Earth Dao sect. That's all. Guqing. Come at us if you have a problem. Don't you dare hurt Little Chen. That's right. Although Little Chen blocked you outside the peak, he didn't do it on purpose. It's just that Master is currently in closed-door cultivation, which is why the mountain-protecting Grand Array was strengthened. If you have any dissatisfaction, it's not too late to talk about it after Master comes out of seclusion. Su Yui and Lin Wana spoke one after another. Their words, both overt and covert, were defending Ye Chen. Seeing them care so much about Ye Chen actually piqued a trace of your curiosity. What is so peculiar about this Ye Chen? Not only did he make the always aloof Tantai Qingshuan take him as a disciple, but also made Su Yui and the others treasure him so much. Could he be another child of destiny? Interesting. You took a deep look at Ye Chen. A child of destiny is good. Children of destiny have lots of treasures, just as both sides were in a stalemate. 2 spiritual lights flew over, attracting everyone's gaze. The arrivals were precisely the holy maiden of the Heaven and Earth Dao sect, Nangong Qiuei and her maid Xiaolian. Nangong Qiuei wore a purple long-sleeved palace dress with moon patterns. Her figure was graceful. Ye Chen, Hiding behind Su Yue, upon seeing Nangong Qiyu, the whole person was utterly infatuated. Nangong Qiyu bowed slightly to greet you. Qiyu greets Dao Child Gu. You smiled slightly. Senior Sister Qiyu is really well informed. You just got back to Xingshuan Peak on my front foot. And you arrived on your back foot, Senior Sister. Junior brother must be joking. I just happened to pass by, that's all. Seeing you returned, I merely came over to say hello. In order to maintain her image as the Holy Maiden, Nangong Qiyu refused to admit that she specifically came to see you. Unexpectedly, the maid who came with her directly exposed her. Dao Child Gu. My Holy Maiden is just being stubborn. As soon as she heard the news of your return, she immediately dragged me to rush over. Shaolian, you. Backstabbed by her maid, Nangong Qiyu's pretty face blushed. Shaolian stuck out her tongue. As the saying goes, a man chasing a woman is separated by a mountain. A woman chasing a man is separated by a layer of veil. If her own Holy Maiden continues to be so reserved, the Dao Child would be eaten clean by other female cultivators. Seeing Nangong Qiyu being so familiar with you, Yi Chen felt extremely jealous inside. He quickly communicated with his inner voice transmission system and listed Nangong Qiyu as a recipient of his inner voice transmission. So she is the Holy Maiden of the Heaven and Earth Dao Sect. Nangong Qiyu? So beautiful. Sigh. What a pity that a beautiful woman suffers an unfortunate fate. The heavenly book says she loved the wrong person, was abandoned by Gu Qing, and sacrificed to an evil god. Truly pitiful. Yi Chen's inner voice suddenly sounded in Nangong Qiyu's mind. Her expression blanked for a moment. Doubts arose in her heart. Who is transmitting a message to her? Also, what is this heavenly book that person mentioned? To actually say that she would be abandoned by Gu Qingyi and sacrificed to an evil god. Real or fake? Nangong Qiyu's eyes slightly focused. She released her divine sense, attempting to find the person sending the secret transmission. Noticing that Nangong Qiyu suddenly released her divine sense, you show a look of doubt and ask aloud. Senior Sister Qiyu, what's wrong? Nothing. Just that someone suddenly sent me a transmission. But I don't know that person. So I thought about tracing the transmission marks to find them. Nangong Qiyu explained. But the doubt in her heart grew heavier. She actually couldn't find a single trace of the transmission. Could it be that person's cultivation is even higher than hers? As the Holy Maiden of the Heaven and Earth Dao Sect, she is already at the great perfection of the Golden Core stage. Moreover, she possesses the purple aura spirit body. Her divine sense can rival that of early nascent soul experts. To avoid leaving transmission traces that she could detect, the cultivation of the person transmitting the sound must have reached at least the mid-nascent soul stage. Hearing this, your brow furrowed slightly. If someone sent a transmission to Nangong Qiyu, it is impossible for you not to sense it. Even if it's a deity transformation celestial being, you would still be able to detect a thing or two. What did that person say to you? You asked once more. Hearing Nangong Qiyu mistake his inner voice for a sound transmission, Yi Chen secretly thought, oh no. Feeling somewhat afraid inside, could this woman be about to blurt out what she heard? Nangong Qiyu subconsciously wanted to answer, but thinking that the transmission said she would be abandoned by you, and then sacrificed to an evil god, she hesitated in her heart. Ultimately, she still chose to conceal it. That person said I have a tribulation in the future, and told me to act cautiously, so as not to be deceived by anyone. How sharp your senses are. After that brief moment of hesitation from Nangong Qiyu, you knew she was hiding something from you. Seeing this, you did not expose her, but merely said meaningfully, is that so? Then senior sister must pay close attention. Don't actually get deceived by someone. Seeing that Nangong Qiyu didn't speak out, Yi Chen secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Then he let out a harmless smile, attracting Nangong Qiyu's attention. Senior Sister Nangong, I am true monarch Qingshuan's newly accepted disciple, Yi Chen. Hearing this familiar voice, Nangong Qiyu suddenly looked at Yi Chen, revealing a look of shock and doubt. This voice. How is it exactly the same as that sound transmission? Could it be that the one who transmitted sound to her just now was him? However, looking at Yi Chen's cultivation, which had just reached foundation establishment, Nangong Qiyu was very puzzled. How could a mere foundation establishment cultivator hide from her senses? Seeing Nangong Qiyu attracted to him, Yi Chen was secretly delighted and continued. Since senior sister Nangong is here, why not come into the peak for a cup of tea? It just so happens I have some newly matured Dao comprehension tea leaves here. Please, senior sister Nangong, have a taste. Sigh. Senior sister Nangong is also a pitiful person. If she hadn't fallen in love with Gu Qing, With her aptitude, not to mention ascending to become an immortal, she would at least become a regional almighty expert. What a pity. She was completely ruined by Gu Qingge. I'll help her out if I can. Hearing Yi Chen's inner voice again, Nangong Qiyu was completely astonished. It was actually really him. But why didn't I detect any traces of sound transmission? Nangong Qiyu couldn't help but develop some curiosity about Yi Chen. And upon hearing that Yi Chen had newly matured Dao Comprehension tea leaves in his hands, thinking of those few Dao Comprehension tea leaves you had kept in your cave dwelling, your expression changed slightly. Ignoring that Nangong Qiyu was still beside you, you turned around and flew towards your cave dwelling. Su Yue and Lin Wane exchanged a glance. Feeling that things were going terribly wrong, they hurriedly chased after you. Seeing you so hurried, a trace of surprise appeared on Nangong Qiyu's pretty face. Did something happen? Junior brother Ye. Let's follow and take a look. Nangong Qiyu said to Ye Chen, seeing her holy maiden talking and laughing with that guy named Ye Chen, while completely ignoring Dao Child Gu. Xiaolian frowned her pretty eyebrows slightly, wondering inwardly if the holy maiden no longer liked Dao Child Gu. You appeared outside the cave dwelling in the blink of an eye. Before even entering the cave dwelling, you saw a completely ruined spiritual field. All those precious herbs and spiritual plants you had planted were completely ruined. Even the surrounding purple bamboo forest had been completely chopped down, leaving only a patch of bare land. Yet before you left, you explicitly ordered Jigui to guard the cave dwelling well. Except for yourself. No one was allowed to enter. Why had such drastic changes occurred outside the cave dwelling, compared to the losses outside the cave dwelling? Gu Qing was more worried about the treasures inside the cave dwelling. You wanted to enter the cave dwelling, but discovered that the restriction arrays of the cave dwelling had also been changed. Good. Very good indeed. I have only been gone for 3 months, and the sky of Qingshuan Peak has completely turned upside down. You are thoroughly enraged. Flames of fury burned in your double pupils. The bright clear sky was suddenly obscured by dark clouds. Rumbling thunder echoed throughout the heaven and earth Dao Sect, startling many Dao Sect cultivators who were in closed-door cultivation, the Sect Master's Great Hall. The young Emperor Mu Qianyang and the Yin Empress Shi Luoyao were currently discussing the ancient Dao trial that would take place in half a year. Who made that little guy so angry? Mu Qianyang suddenly looked outside the hall, looking towards the direction of Qingshuan Peak with a trace of surprise on his face. Shi Luoyao felt equally surprised. Based on their understanding of you, you have never lost such a big temper before. Luoyao, let's go take a look. Subsequently, the 2 deity transformation celestial beings disappeared from the Great Hall. The other nascent soul true monarchs within the Dao sect also dispatched their disciples to investigate the situation. Inside Qingshuan Peak, Su Yue and Lin Wane also rushed to the cave dwelling. Feeling the dangerous aura exuding from your body, neither dared to approach. Yi Chen and Nangong Qiyu landed in front of the cave dwelling. As if oblivious to your fury, Yi Chen continued to say with a smile, Senior Sister Qiyu, this is my cave dwelling. Nangong Qiyu recognized at a glance that this was your cave dwelling. Her pretty face showed astonishment as she turned to look at you, only to see your face completely darkened. Your figure instantly vanished from her sight. The next second, you appeared in front of Ye Chen, grabbed him by the throat, and lifted him high into the air. Your double pupils flashed with monstrous killing intent. Your thin lips parted slightly. Your voice was as bone-piercingly cold as 10,000-year profound ice. Your cave dwelling? How come I was not aware that the cave dwelling I lived in for 12 years suddenly became yours? Let go of junior brother Ye. Let go of little Chen. Su Yue and Lin Wane anxiously shouted out at the same time. They both launched attacks at you, trying to save Ye Chen. Unexpectedly, you merely turned your head and glared at them. 2 beams of gaze shot out like sharp swords, and in an instant, pierced right through their bodies, leaving their life or death unknown. Senior sister, save me. Seeing that his 2 senior sisters couldn't even withstand a single glance, Ye Chen was terrified beyond measure and struggled to call out to Nangong Qiyu for help. Nangong Qiyu couldn't bear it in her heart. Isn't it just a cave dwelling? Is there a need to kill over it? She had just taken a step forward, but her sleeve was pulled by the maid behind her. Nangong Qiyu turned her head. Xiaolian shook her head. She couldn't let her holy maiden act foolishly. Although Nangong Qiyu was stopped, you still noticed her actions. But now was not the time to think about that. Looking at Yi Chen struggling in your grasp, your killing intent grew even stronger. A mere piece of trash from nowhere actually dares to occupy your cave dwelling. You are courting death. But just as you are about to deliver the killing blow, Another delicate shout rang out, "Let go of brother Yi Chen." The familiar delicate shout echoed in your ear. You subconsciously turned your head and suddenly felt a burst of fierce, sharp wind sweeping towards you. A dragon covered with golden scales, claw tearing through the wind and ground, grabbing at you. Ziggy, your double pupils clearly saw the sneak attacker. A trace of astonishment appeared on your face. At the same time, a streak of purple light flashed by. You suddenly felt your hand lighten. Yi Chen had already broken free from your grasp. It was Nangong Qiyue who made her move. Taking advantage of your moment of distraction, she used a spiritual weapon ribbon to snatch Yi Chen away. Seeing her holy maiden make a move anyway, Xiaolian stomped her feet in anxiety. Daochild Gu obviously wanted to kill this Yi Chen, yet the holy maiden still rescued him. Wasn't this slapping the Daochild right in the face? Nangong Qiyue asked Yi Chen with concern. Junior brother Ye, are you alright? Thank you, senior sister Qiyue, for stepping in to save me. Yi Chen is endlessly grateful. Yi Chen looked at Nangong Qiyue with immense gratitude, and at the same time didn't forget to transmit his inner voice to her. Senior sister Qiyue is truly beautiful and kind-hearted. Sigh. What a pity. Why would she like Gu Chinga? Since senior sister Qiyue saved me from danger, even if I, Yi Chen, have to risk my life, I must change her tragic ending in the heavenly book. Hearing Yi Chen's inner voice, Nangong Qiyue couldn't help but feel a bit of goodwill towards him in her heart, although she wasn't sure what the heavenly book he spoke of was. But for him to have such a desire to repay a favor, he must also be a kind-hearted person. Brother Yi Chen, are you okay? A golden figure landed beside Yi Chen. The golden light dispersed, revealing a charming young girl wearing a golden rukun, with golden dragon horns growing on her head, looking incredibly beautiful and captivating. Seeing the young girl's arrival, Yi Chen felt a great increase in his sense of security. Your gaze fell upon the golden-skirted dragon girl. A trace of coldness flowed within your double pupils, but your expression became even calmer. Excellent. I was wondering how this Yi Chen had the ability to break my cave dwelling's restrictions. Turns out it was an inside job. Jigui, don't you have anything to explain to me? You spoke in a deep voice, like a soul-snatching demonic sound from the nine nether hell pouring into Jigui's ears, causing her delicate body to tremble as she stiffly turned her head around. When she clearly saw your true face, Jigui's beautiful eyes widened instantly. Her vertical pupils contracted violently as if she had seen a ghost, revealing a panic that was impossible to conceal. Master, why are you back? The golden-skirted dragon girl forced down her inner terror and asked cautiously with a trembling voice. She hadn't expected you to return so quickly. Wasn't it said that it would take half a year at the shortest, and 2 or 3 years at the longest, before you returned? You coldly looked at Jigui, looking at this Jiao snake that you had raised with your own hands. Your gaze grew deeper and colder. Tell me, why has my cave dwelling turned into this state? Facing her master's questioning, Jigui parted her pink lips slightly, wanting to explain something. But unexpectedly, Yi Chen jumped out, blocked in front of her and said loudly, So senior brother Gu is the master Jigui spoke of. Please don't make things difficult for Jigui, senior brother Gu. The changes in the cave dwelling have nothing to do with her. I did it all. I hope senior brother Gu won't be angry. And please don't punish Jigui. With Nangong Qiyu and Jigui backing him up, Yi Chen felt he was capable again, and his spine stiffened. In his eyes, since you are a Dao child, then your strength must certainly be like the holy maiden, Nangong Qiyu, with almost no difference. Obviously, Yi Chen had already forgotten what Su Yue said, seeing Yi Chen take all the blame upon himself. Jigui was incredibly moved. This also made her fearful heart grow firm. This has nothing to do with brother Yi Chen. I was the one who let him into the cave dwelling, and I was the one who modified the cave dwelling's restrictions. I also picked those precious herbs and spiritual plants in a spiritual field for him to eat. If you want to punish someone, then punish me. You watched Jigui protect Yi Chen behind her, and instead of getting angry, you laughed. I am actually quite curious to know just what kind of magic potion this Yi Chen gave you, that you would actually dare to turn against me. Don't you forget, it was I who raised you. It was also I who helped you awaken the true dragon bloodline within your body, allowing you to transform into a golden dragon. I haven't treated you poorly, have I? Why must you still betray me? If it weren't for me, let alone transforming into a golden dragon, you would have become food in a demonic beast's mouth 10 years ago. After hearing this, Jigui's recently firmed heart instantly broke down. A trace of shame appeared on her exquisite and pretty face. 10 years ago, when she was just a small chi-refining Jiao snake, she was being hunted by a Foundation establishment demonic beast. If you hadn't happened to pass by and saved her in passing, she would have probably already been devoured by that Foundation establishment demonic beast. Not only did you take her in, but you also signed a master-servant contract with her, and bestowed upon her the name Zhigui. Later, you discovered the true dragon bloodline hidden within her body, and spent a massive amount of resources to help her awaken it, allowing her to leap from a Jiao snake into a true dragon. Zhigui once thought she was very fortunate, but after meeting Ye Chen, she realized that your kindness to her was all fake, because she learned from Ye Chen's inner voice that the reason you nurtured her was entirely for the true dragon bloodline. In the near future, you would skin her and pull out her tendons to extract her true dragon essence blood in order to break through your cultivation base. Thinking of this, she became resolute again and retorted in a delicate voice, "Brother Ye Chen didn't give me any magic potion. He simply gave me the respect a human deserves, unlike you, who only steps on me beneath your feet and orders me around like a beast of burden." You laughed, with a sarcastic tone. "The respect a human deserves? Heh, Zhigui. Without me, you wouldn't even have the chance to be a beast. You would only have become the excrement of those demonic beasts. What's the matter? Drank a few mouthfuls of someone else's poisonous chicken soup, and you think you're suddenly something special? You are nothing but a dog raised by me. And you want to turn around and bite your master? Do you think the dog collar around your neck has been taken off? With a mere thought from you." The power of the contract took effect. Zhigui instantly collapsed to the ground in unbearable agony. You coldly looked at the agonizing Zhigui, trying to bite your master when the leash hasn't even been taken off. It is simply the height of foolishness. Ye Chen hadn't expected you to actually leave a failsafe on Zhigui. He immediately panicked. He turned his head to look at Nangong Qiyu and hurriedly transmitted his inner voice to her. "Senior Brother Gu is so cruel. Zhigui just wanted to be treated like a person, that's all. Yet he insists on forcing her to be a beast. He really is the world-destroying great demon lord described in the heavenly book. It's hard to imagine. If senior sister Qiyue also fell into his hands, what kind of torture she would suffer." Hearing this, Nangong Qiyu couldn't help but advise, "Junior Brother Gu, although Zhigui is at fault, it is somewhat excusable. After all, she belongs to the dragon race. She is proud by nature. You step on her and treat her as a mount. It's normal for her to be dissatisfied. You are a magnanimous person. Just spare her this once." Hearing this, you merely cast an indifferent glance at Nangong Qiyu and didn't stop torturing Zhigui. Nangong Qiyu was acting very strangely today, being ignored like this. Nangong Qiyu immediately felt a bit embarrassed and lost face. Until Zhigui admitted her mistake and transformed into her original form, you only then put her into the spiritual pet space. Once you finished dealing with Ye Chen, you would properly discipline this ungrateful dragon. You raised your eyes to look at Ye Chen. Profound laws flowed within your double pupils, and chaos chi permeated the air. Oh no. Ye Chen instantly felt as if he was being stared at by some great terror, as if everything about him had been seen through, and his secrets had nowhere to hide. You activated your double pupils, and discovered that something on Ye Chen's body was being hidden, since even the double pupils couldn't see through it. Then you would just go straight for a soul search. Just as you were about to make a move, Nangong Qiyu jumped out again and shielded Ye Chen behind her. Your gaze turned chillingly cold, as you questioned in a deep voice, "Senior sister Nangong, are you going to make an enemy out of me? Junior brother, I don't want to make an enemy out of you, but you have gone too far. Since that's the case, then don't blame me. You boldly made your move. The universe inverted within your palm, evolving into a miniature world, imprisoning gods, forbidding Buddhas, and sweeping aside all living beings." Fiercely grabbing towards Ye Chen, heaven and earth sky imprisoning hand, Nangong Qiyu was greatly alarmed. She didn't expect your moves to be so ruthless. Using a lesser divine ability right off the bat, with no time to think further, she waved her spiritual weapon ribbon to wrap around herself and Ye Chen, attempting to block your giant hand. Boom. However, the spiritual weapon ribbon was torn to shreds in an instant. The momentum of your heaven and earth sky imprisoning hand remained undiminished, just as it was about to grab Ye Chen. A peerlessly beautiful and voluptuous figure descended from the sky. A white horsetail whisk swept out, and casually dispelled your lesser divine ability. The plain-colored spiritual light converged. A figure with a stunningly beautiful appearance and a graceful and elegant posture entered everyone's eyes. The arrival was impressively true monarch Qing Xuan, Tantai Qing Xuan, who was also your aloof master. before you entered the Dao sect. She was the #1 heaven chosen of the Dao sect. She glanced at Su Yuvei and Lin Wan'er, whose life or death was unknown, and then looked at you. A trace of an unusual look flickered in her indifferent eyes but quickly returned to calmness. Seeing his master arrive, Ye Chen was overjoyed, and hurriedly complained to Tantai Ching Xuan. Master, you must seek justice for Senior Sister Su and Senior Sister Lin. Senior Brother Gu didn't distinguish right from wrong, and severely injured them for no reason. You must definitely punish him. However, hearing this, Tantai Ching Xuan completely ignored Ye Chen, and merely looked at you, saying in a plain voice, "Why did you strike to injure people? Your newly accepted disciple forcibly occupied my cave dwelling. When I acted to punish him, Su Yuwei and Lin Wan'er acted to stop me. So I injured them in passing." You said calmly. Is what he said the truth? Tantai Ching Xuan turned her head to look at Ye Chen. Seeing this, Ye Chen shook his head in denial, while simultaneously transmitting his inner voice to her. Thank goodness Master arrived in time. Otherwise it would have been dangerous. Senior Brother Gu is too cruel. The Senior Sisters merely wanted to stop him from hurting me. Yet he actually struck the Senior Sisters so ruthlessly. I hope Master can uphold justice for us. Just when Ye Chen thought Tantai Ching Xuan would also be biased towards him because of his inner voice, unexpectedly, she wasn't moved in the slightest. She merely glanced at him indifferently and then said to you, "Since he forcibly occupied your cave dwelling, then let him compensate you for your losses." As soon as these words came out, Ye Chen turned pale with fright, looking at Tantai Ching Xuan in disbelief. Why is it that Master heard my inner voice, but didn't show favoritism towards me? Could it be that I haven't transmitted enough inner thoughts? Ye Chen immediately continued to transmit his inner voice to Tantai Ching Xuan. But Tantai Ching Xuan acted as if she couldn't hear it at all, not even giving him a single glance. This completely broke Ye Chen's mental defense. Why would the always successful inner voice be ineffective against Tantai Ching Xuan? What exactly is going on? He hurriedly questioned the inner voice transmission system. Host, Tantai Ching Xuan is innately devoid of emotions and desires, and she cultivates the supreme forgetting emotions Dao scripture. Inner demons do not attach to her, and worldly matters do not enter her eyes, having no desires and no demands. The bewitchment of the inner voice has no effect on her. Then why did Tantai Ching Xuan, after hearing my inner voice earlier, bring me back to Qingshuan Peak and accept me as a disciple? Ye Chen anxiously questioned the inner voice transmission system. I clearly successfully bewitched Tantai Ching Xuan with my inner voice before. Why isn't it working this time? Ding! During the first inner voice transmission to Tantai Ching Xuan, after Tantai Ching Xuan ignored it, the system utilized a mandatory interference, which is why Tantai Ching Xuan accepted the host as a disciple, then used mandatory interference one more time. Ding! There are no mandatory interference attempts remaining. You need to recharge 100 spirit crystals. Fuck. You trash system. Why didn't you say so earlier? Ye Chen felt like he was being played to death by the system. I cannot just sit and wait for death. I must find a way to escape. Ye Chen's mind spun rapidly. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration hit him. He looked at Nangong Qiyu and turned to transmit his inner voice to her instead. Sigh. Master is biased towards Senior Brother Gu. I'm afraid it will be hard to escape death today. I'm just worried about Senior Sister Qiyu. I hope that by using my death, I can let Senior Sister clearly see Senior Brother Gu's true colors, so she won't be deceived by him anymore. Senior Sister, your junior brother is useless. I can no longer help you change the tragic ending in the heavenly book. Nangong Qiyu's heart skipped a beat. She absolutely couldn't let anything happen to junior brother Ye, and even less so, let you have your way. Isn't it just compensating for the cave dwelling's losses? She will pay for it. Martial Ant Qingshuan. Junior brother just joined the sect not long ago. He doesn't have many spirit stones on hand. Junior brother Ye and I hit it off right from the start. Let me compensate junior brother Gu for his losses on his behalf. Nangong Qiyue took out from her storage ring a spirit stone pouch and continued. Inside here are 1 million mid-grade spirit stones. I presume that should be enough. Who knew you would directly shake your head? Not enough. Excluding the Dao comprehension tea leaves, the treasures inside my cave dwelling are at the very least worth 300,000 to 400,000 high-grade spirit stones. 1 million mid-grade spirit stones is far from enough. After saying that, you looked at Ye Chen again and said coldly, hand over those few Dao comprehension tea leaves. Otherwise, I will suppress and kill you right now. When that time comes, even if the punishment elder comes looking for me, he won't be able to convict me of any crime. Hearing your threat, Ye Chen looked at Nangong Qiyue once again. His intention was very obvious. Nangong Kyue froze in place. This is way too much. 300,000 to 400,000 high-grade spirit stones. Let alone a golden core cultivator like her. Even a nascent soul true monarch might not necessarily have them. Plus the Dao comprehension tea leaves. That is a top-tier spiritual item that costs tens of thousands of top-grade spirit stones for just a single leaf. Even if Nangong Kyue went bankrupt and sold the Holy Maiden Peak, she wouldn't be able to afford it. Xiaolian also hurriedly stepped forward to pull her Holy Maiden, telling her not to act foolishly. It was clearly that Yi Chen who offended Dao Child Gu. Why should her Holy Maiden help that Yi Chen? Wouldn't this offend Dao Child Gu to death? Fuck. Another useless woman. Can't even take out a few 100,000 high-grade spirit stones. What a piece of trash. Yi Chen cursed loudly in his heart. At the same time, he was incomparably panicked. It seems no one can save you now. The corners of your mouth curled up, tracing out a cruel smile. You raised your hand and grabbed towards Yi Chen. You really wanted to see just what kind of secrets this guy has on him. Wait a minute. Only to see Nangong Kyue bearing the pain and taking out an item from her storage ring. This item should be enough to offset the losses junior brother Ye caused you, right? Your gaze fell upon that item. A flash of surprise passed through your double pupils. She actually has such a supreme treasure. The Sun Divine Tree. A branch from the Fusung Tree. This thing contains an unimaginable amount of fire and wood spiritual energy, as well as an incredibly dense sun aura, as if it were an incarnation of the sun. It is also the divine tree guarded by the great sun golden crow race. Rumor has it that the Fusung divine tree was taken back to the upper realm. To think that Nangong Kyue actually has such a piece of divine wood in her hands. Although Dao comprehension tea leaves are precious, they are items with a measurable price. As long as one is willing to spend spirit stones, they can still be bought. But the Fusung divine wood is a priceless treasure that is hard to find in this world, hiding behind Nangong Kyue, Ye Chen. Although he didn't recognize what that golden branch was, but seeing your surprised gaze, he could tell with a glance that it was an extraordinary treasure. This made Ye Chen grit his teeth in hatred. That treasure clearly should have been his. Is this piece of Fusung divine wood enough to compensate for your losses? Nangong Kyue showed an expression of heartache. If it wasn't to save Ye Chen, she would never be willing to take out such a supreme treasure. You nodded in satisfaction. Naturally, it is enough. You grabbed the Fusung divine wood into your hand, unable to bear parting with it. The displeasure from your spiritual field being ruined, and your cave dwelling being occupied also vanished into thin air. With this piece of Fusung divine wood, you are 70% confident that you can make the Zhurong Sacred Core and the Jumeng Sacred Core transform into divine nascent souls. When that time comes, with 3 ancestral Magus divine nascent souls in your body. Even if you face a relatively strong deity transformation celestial being, you can secure a steady victory. I'm sorry, Senior Sister Kyue. I caused you to lose a supreme treasure. When Yi Chen said this, he still didn't forget to transmit his manipulative inner voice to Nangong Kyue. Nangong Kyue felt quite gratified. She waved her jade-like hand gently. It's fine. Although the Fusung divine wood is precious, it cannot be compared with your life. Xiaolian was so anxious she was almost about to curse at her own holy maiden. Seeing that Yi Chen and Nangong Kyue had only met for a short while yet were so intimate, the doubt in your heart grew heavier. It seems you somewhat underestimated the tricks on Yi Chen's body. You glanced at the cave dwelling, thinking that the things inside had probably already been completely ruined by Yi Chen. There was no need to go in anymore. It's better to just return to the Dao Child Peak. The most urgent task right now is to refine the Fusang divine wood as soon as possible, and break through to possessing 3 divine nascent souls. As for the matter regarding Yi Chen, it is not as important as breaking through. As long as you form 3 divine nascent souls, even if Yi Chen can find a deity transformation celestial being as his backer, you can still suppress him with absolute power. Any backer or helper is illusory. To forge iron, one must be strong oneself. It looks like we came late. Did we miss a good show? A hearty voice suddenly rang in everyone's ears. The next moment, 2 figures silently appeared in front of the group. It was impressively the young emperor and the Yin Empress. As soon as Nangong Kyue saw the Yin Empress, she hastily cupped her hands and bowed. Your disciple greets master. The Yin Empress smiled at her, but her gaze fell upon Yi Chen. A flash of shock and doubt passed through her eyes. She and the Yang Emperor had arrived early on, and witnessed the entire process. For her own disciple to give up the Fusung divine wood for a male disciple she had just met. She even took out the Fusung divine wood. To say there's no problem here, the Yin Empress definitely wouldn't believe it. Originally she wanted to make a move and capture Yi Chen, to probe his oddities, but was stopped by the young emperor. The young emperor also saw Ye Chen's weirdness, but he considered more things, namely that this Ye Chen is Tantai Qingxuan's disciple. This matter still needs to be handled by her as his master. Since Ye Chen has a conflict with you, based on his understanding of you, Ye Chen will undoubtedly die, so there is no need to waste effort on Ye Chen. Kid, you didn't even notify this sect master upon coming back. What's the matter? Do you think this sect master is still eyeing that little bit of monkey wine of yours? That you didn't dare to come see this sect master? The young emperor jokingly teased you, absolutely not mentioning the conflict between you and Ye Chen. You are in a great mood at this moment, and said heroically, Uncle Mu, what are you saying? Do I look like such a stingy person? Isn't it just monkey wine? I'll send a few jars to you later. Hearing this, the young emperor laughed. You said it yourself. Then this sect master won't hold back. Just as the two were chatting happily, Ye Chen looked at the Yin Empress and communicated with the inner voice transmission system, asking it to add the Yin Empress as a recipient for inner voice transmission. Ding. The Yin Empress's cultivation has reached the first layer of deity transformation. Her strength exceeds the host's by 3 major realms. Addition failed. You can only add cultivators up to the great perfection of the golden core stage at most. Please elevate your cultivation, host. Ye Chen was greatly alarmed. Then why was I able to add Tantai Qingxuan before? Ding. The first edition of an inner voice transmission recipient has no cultivation limit. Fuck. Why didn't you warn me? If I had known it would be like this, I wouldn't have chosen Tantai Qingxuan even if you beat me to death. Ye Chen's mental defenses were completely shattered. He seriously felt that he had been miserably scammed by the system and wasted an unlimited addition a mandatory interference opportunity in vain. Sensing Ye Chen's gaze, the Yin Empress was slightly displeased. She instructed Nangong Qiye in a deep voice, Qiye, you are the holy maiden. In the future, you can only marry the Dao child. Do not lose your status over irrelevant people. I understand. Master. Nangong Qiye was taken aback at first, and then her mood became a bit down. Seeing this, Ye Chen couldn't care less about his exasperation and hurriedly output his inner voice to her. Senior Sister Qiye is so pitiful, being forced by her master to marry someone who schemes against her. Senior Sister, just wait. Give me a little time. I absolutely will not let you marry that despicable Guqing. Upon hearing this, Nangong Qiye's mood gradually improved. Afterwards, the Yin Empress left with Nangong Qiye and the others, and you headed to your Dao Child Peak with the young emperor to fetch the monkey wine for the young emperor. But what you didn't expect was that your extremely cold master, Tantai Qingxuan, actually followed along as well. Seeing that everyone had left, Ye Chen hurriedly went to check on the condition of Su Yuwei and Lin Wan'er. But what he touched were 2 corpses that still retained some warmth. How could your double pupil's gaze be something that 2 ants, who aren't even at the nascent soul stage, could endure? The souls of Su Yuwei and Lin Wan'er had already been scattered. They don't even have the chance to reincarnate. Ye Chen cursed in exasperation. 2 pieces of trash. Couldn't even withstand a single glance from that guy surnamed Gu. They deserved to be dead. But feeling that Su Yuwei and Lin Wan'er's corpses still had a bit of residual warmth, an evil thought rose in his mind. At this time, inside the Dao Child Peak, peaks overlapped and spiritual energy lingered. Inside the palace at the peak, you took out the 3 jars of monkey wine you had treasured. The young emperor gently sniffed with his nose, smelling the peculiar fragrance of the monkey wine. His gluttony was instantly enticed. This sect master has been craving this monkey wine for a long time, just waiting for your return to the sect. The young emperor laughingly accepted the monkey wine and stored it into his internal purple mansion. Deity transformation celestial beings are divided into 5 minor realms, which are longevity, purple mansion, yin god, young god, dharma avatar. The young emperor is a purple mansion realm deity transformation celestial being, nurturing a purple mansion heavenly cave within his body. Spiritual energy flows endlessly, and there are many wondrous uses unknown to others. Qing, let me remind you of one thing, that Ye Chen is quite bizarre. He seems to possess a divine ability to bewitch others. If you want to make a move against him, you must do it early. Do not wait until he has fully developed his power before acting, before leaving. The young emperor spoke up to remind you. You nodded. You are naturally aware of this, and definitely won't let that Ye Chen live for too long. Watching the young emperor leave, you looked at Tantai Qingxuan on the side, holding her horsetail whisk. Without saying a word, your gaze swept across her breathtakingly beautiful, yet expressionless, absolutely gorgeous face, and after sweeping over it, you calmly asked, "Master, you didn't return to Qingshuan Peak to deal with your new disciple. Is there something you need by staying here at my Dao Child Peak?" Tantai Qingshuan's expression was indifferent. She slightly parted her moist lips. "Over 2 months ago, I encountered Ye Chen at Lingyuan Peak and heard his inner voice. He said that from a heavenly book, he saw that my Tao of ruthlessness would be broken by you. And after being played with by you, I would be abandoned, with a tragic ending. If I accepted him as a disciple, I could avoid this tribulation." Tantai Qingshuan used a declarative tone to explain Ye Chen's origins and why she took him as a disciple. Hearing this, you were slightly stunned. You didn't expect her to tell you all this. However, regarding the fact that Master could hear Ye Chen's inner voice, you still felt strange in your heart. Could this really be his divine ability? But with Ye Chen's meager cultivation, how could he possibly master such a grand divine ability like telepathy? Even eminent monks of Buddhism might not necessarily succeed in cultivating it. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration hit you. A trace of surprise flashed in your eyes. Could it be a system? The more you thought about it, the more you felt your guess was correct. It could also explain why your double pupils clearly had already seen through Ye Chen, yet still felt a sense of haziness. It must be the system concealing him. It seems none of these systems are anything good. You looked at Tantai Qingshuan again and questioned, "Master, why are you telling me all this? Is it to make mispa Ye Chen or?" Tantai Qingshuan shook her head, but what she said next made your jaw drop. "I want you to help me cultivate and break my Tao of ruthlessness." You looked at the stunningly beautiful master in front of you in astonishment, for a moment doubting that you heard wrong. However, what surprised you even more was, "If you're willing to help me break the Tao of ruthlessness, I will give you the primal yin of my supreme Tao body. How about it? Even with your steady temperament." You were shocked by Tantai Qingshuan's words. Just to break the Tao of ruthlessness, Tantai Qingshuan even offered up her own primal yin. This is just too crazy. People who cultivate the Tao of ruthlessness are indeed not normal. You felt completely numb. Tantai Qingshuan's primal yin is a great thing. It is a top-tier supreme treasure for assisting cultivation. To reject such a supreme treasure would be foolish. You reined in the shock in your heart. Your double pupils looked at Tantai Qingshuan. Your gaze swept across her cold and glamorous delicate body as you smiled and said, "Since it is Master's request, I naturally won't refuse. However, the difficulty of helping you break the Tao of ruthlessness is no less than undergoing tribulation to become an immortal. Just the primal yin of the supreme Tao body is not enough. Speak. What else do you want? As long as I have it, I can give it to you." Tantai Qingshuan said generously. Unexpectedly, you suddenly took a big stride forward and directly reached out to pull her voluptuous, delicate body into your embrace. A faint, elegant, and pleasant fragrance flooded into your nasal cavity along with it. You lowered your head and leaned in close to the cold and glamorous Taoist nun's ear, and whispered softly, "I want you, Master, to be my cultivation vessel, to assist me in my cultivation. The difference between a single full meal and being full every meal. You still know it very well." Okay. Tantai Qingshuan agreed without even thinking about it. She had already offered her primal yin anyway. Being a cultivation vessel wasn't out of the question either. Seeing her agree so easily, your smile grew thick. "Then your disciple won't hold back." After saying that, carrying Tantai Qingshuan in your arms, you smiled and walked towards the bedroom,